It's okay. I don't expect you to talk to me. Nobody does. I'm used to people just ignoring me or looking through me like I don't exist. See, I'm that woman. That woman who's lived with 5 different men. Yeah, well, the men, they're really interested in that. But no man could start a conversation with me. And the women, especially the ones who have lived with one man since they left their mother's house, they're pretty interested too. But once they realize that I'm not here to feed their curiosity, they don't want to have much to do with me. So, I'm not going to talk about the men today. If that's what you came to hear, I'm sorry. There are only 2 men in my life who have meant anything to me. And one of them has been dead for 10 years. It was Samuel, my first husband. And yes, I was married. Samuel was the love of my life. Samuel had studied Torah, and he used to come home in the evenings and recite Torah to me. And I would listen to him, and he would let me make comments, and he would even listen to what I had to say. One time Samuel said, "If you had been born a man, you could have been a fine rabbi." And I said to him, "Yeah, and if a pig had not been born a pig, it could have been a good Jew." Oh, we'd laugh about that. It became kind of a little joke between us. We'd see a foreigner in town, and Samuel would lean over to me and whisper, "He looks like a good Jew." And I would have to hide my smile, because there are lots of people out there that look like good Jews, and underneath, they're pigs. I've lived with a few of them. Nobody has started a conversation with me for many, many years. I don't even go to the well in the morning and the evening when the other women are there anymore. It's too hard to walk up and have all of the conversations stop as soon as I arrive. It's even harder when I'm there and people come up and pay no more attention to me than if I were the dust on their sandals. I go to the well mostly at noon these days when nobody else is there. And so I was surprised a couple days ago when I was bringing my water pot to the well, and there was a man there in the middle of the day. I stole a look at him when I came up. He looked like a foreigner, probably a good Jew. I would keep my distance. So I was shocked when he said to me, "Would you give me a drink?" I was so startled that I actually looked at him before I dropped my head the way a woman should. It didn't seem like he was mocking me. It was the middle of the day, and he might actually be thirsty. But what was he doing speaking to me, a woman? Any good Jew knows that Samaritan women are valueless. They're pigs. They're unclean. And any Samaritan woman knows that to talk to a good Jew would be to invite gossip. But just my existence invites gossip. So I really didn't have anything to lose. So I raised my head and I looked him in the eye and I said, "Why are you, a Jew, asking me, a Samaritan woman, for water?" And then we had a conversation, a real conversation about being thirsty and living water and endless life. We talked about the differences between Jews and Samaritans and where they worship. And he said that the day was coming that those things wouldn't matter anymore. That what was important to God was that we were truly ourselves, simply and honestly ourselves before God. And that was the way that our spirits would pursue truth. Even Samuel had never spoken to me like this. Samuel could recite the Torah. This man knew what it meant. He had to be a prophet, maybe even the Messiah. I was so excited that I ran back to the village to tell my neighbors, and I was so distracted that I left my water pot sitting by the well. I don't know how he ever got a drink. I never drew any water for him. Here's the thing about the Messiah. Here's the truth that I learned from him. The things that we're thirsty for aren't really things. Sure, if you walk for a long way on a hot day, you're going to get thirsty. And I still need that kind of water. But the thing that I was most thirsty for was something that I had not even expressed to him. I needed somebody to look at me and actually see me. I needed somebody to speak to me and not just to give orders. I needed to know that somebody cared about me, somebody who was still alive. And that is the gift that the Messiah gave to me. That is the gift that means I will never be thirsty again. That's the gift that has changed my life. Because here's the thing about the Messiah. The amazing thing is that he knew about the men. He knew about the 5 men and that the man I was living with now is not my husband. Okay, maybe that's not so amazing. Everybody in the village, even the children, knows that. But the Messiah knew that about me, and he spoke to me anyway. He didn't look at me and see my past history or see how pathetic my situation was now. He looked past that and saw a person who was worthy of the gift of truth, somebody who could be simple and humble before God, a woman who had nothing to lose. There are so many good Jews out there who are trying to cover up the fact that they're really pigs. I have known for a long time that I'm a pig. And if I ever forget, my neighbors remind me. I'm a Samaritan, a woman. I have no husband. I have no status. I have no value. A pig. But a pig who's dressed in robes with tassels, washing its hands, trying to observe all the rules of Torah, is that a good Jew? Or is that still a pig? Which one is true? Which one did the Messiah say could worship out of who it truly is? You see, truth is like water. It gives life. And like the water that I draw out of Jacob's well every day, it's free. If truth is something that we have to earn by being born in the right country or marrying the right person or following all the right rules, then we have to hold on tighter and tighter to that truth because somebody might take that truth away from us. Have you ever tried to hold on to water? The tighter you close your fists, the less there is. And finally, there's nothing there. It's all gone. If truth is like water, then it's something that I can share with everyone because it comes from a well that never runs dry. That is the truth that the Messiah gave to me, that I can be truly and honestly myself before God. I don't have to try and act like somebody that I am not and never can be in order to be acceptable to the Messiah. That is why I was so excited to run home and tell my neighbors. It hasn't changed who I am. I'm still a Samaritan woman. I still have to draw water from Jacob's well every day. But now I can speak to my neighbors. They talk to me. Sometimes they even listen to me because I am the woman who spoke with the Messiah. And I have value and meaning because of that. The Messiah saw where I was thirsty and gave me living water that will never run dry. And that's the truth.